Hi Virgo, how's it going? We're here with your reading, what you need to know for August. Welcome. Okay, first card that we have out is Two of Swords. Something that you're figuring out, for most of you, this is probably about a relationship or a living situation. But beyond that, because it doesn't only have to be about this, it's more about what's going to allow you to feel like things are the way that they are supposed to be within your life. When I say supposed to, I mean, how do things need to be in order for you to feel like, okay, I'm feeling like things are stable now, or I'm feeling like I'm in a good spot, or we are in a good spot. Two of Swords can be things that you're thinking about, things that you're figuring out, things that you need to see, things that you're seeking clarity on. But yeah, this Four of Wands in particular like makes me think about a relationship. But we'll come back to your relationship with you and yourself. I'm seeing the image on the Ten of Swords card of a scorpion, and it looks like it's almost going to touch a flower. And when I think of that, I think about like a scorpion's touch and how that can be something that can be like very rough in comparison to the petals of a flower. So there may be something here that's important about how potentially hard or lightly you touch something, and maybe wanting to apply the right amount of pressure or focus and not overdo it here and be too harsh, because there may be this feeling within you of, with the scorpion being a symbol for like death and rebirth and like a very scorpionic thing, there can be something within you that is feeling potentially an inclination to have some type of purge. This feels like something that would be going on in your personal life. I'm seeing Queen of Pentacles here. But just seeing the image of the scorpion and the flower feels like going to touch something where it's like if you're too rough with it, you're going to eviscerate this thing. So needing to be mindful of sort of the power that you have, and also about your intention, because if there is not a light touch here with this, it can bring something to like knock it down on its knees essentially. So something can be very vulnerable, and your touch may have a big impact. All right. Six of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Swords is feeling like, hey, I'm trying to show up and give you what you want. But then Three of Swords can be like, that actually not being received well, or like something painful happening, which can feel difficult because, you know, if you're trying to show up and give somebody something, because Six of Pentacles can be that, like, I'm trying to be generous here, or I'm trying to be giving here. And Knight of Pentacles is going to be like making a move. So like, I hope that this is enough. I hope that this is balanced for you. I hope that this shows reciprocity. But then having Three of Swords can be something actually does not go well. So it can be, I'm trying to show up and then I feel like I'm being rejected, or that it doesn't go the way that I planned for it to, or this person is not being super receptive of what I'm trying to give or show up with. Or you can feel like you're not being seen or like you're not being appreciated. That can also be part of this too. Which can definitely feel frustrating, and you can feel at a loss because of this, because you're like, if I'm trying to give something and there's like pain created now when I had good intentions here, because Six of Pentacles is definitely going to be like, hey, I'm trying to show up and do my part, like do my end of things, carry the weight of my end of things. But then Three of Swords is something where it's like, why is this ending in some type of hurtful situation now? And then Five of Pentacles is like, this is what I had to give. And if that's not working, then what even can I do here in this situation? But this feels like very quickly resorting to having Five of Pentacles can feel like you can feel ostracized, you can feel alone, you can feel like at a loss for what to do here. I feel that more than anything. Kind of like you may be feeling hopeless about this situation. You can also be looking at it and being like, I don't know what to do, or like I try to show up and do my part, and if that's not working, what is there even to do here? But Two of Swords and Five of Pentacles feels like something important needs to be realized, something important needs to be seen here that may not be being seen. And that can also be that like the way that you need to show up with another person can be different than how you want. Like, let's say it like this. Maybe like you receive love by somebody, I don't know, like remembering little details about you. And so you can give love by remembering little details about someone, but it's like they actually wanted like physical touch, you know? And so instead of a conversation, they wanted you to like comfort them or like give them a hug or whatever. So you can be showing up and being like, I'm showing up and trying to give you what you want, but really you're like giving them what you would want. And this can feel just like a difference in love language more than anything is actually what this feels like, and needing to see that it's not that you can't show up and give this person what they need, it's that you're coming with the wrong stuff to the table, and this is going to come back to a communication issue. So during the month of August, this is going to come to light, because I'm seeing one of those times, Virgo, where you can be showing up and being like, hey, I'm giving you this thing. The person is like, that's not what I need from you, or that's not what I want from you in order to feel like I'm getting what I need within the relationship. And you can take that and be like, I guess I just can't give you anything then. You know, it can be like that type of thing where we do that as a defense mechanism. Because it's like, I tried, my try is like not working the way that I wanted it to, or I'm like being rejected here, and so I'm gonna like shut down completely and like recede, and then be like, there's nothing that I can do, or like I can't do this right, or it doesn't matter what I show up with, it doesn't work. But it does matter what you show up with. You're just showing up with a thing that you need to make sure that it's compatible with the person that you're giving it to. And again, like you can like unconsciously be giving them what you want and being like, hey, like this is what I want from you, when really you're gonna need to communicate with them and be like, what is your love language? Like, how do you need me to show up for you, and vice versa, so they can also do the same thing for you too. So it feels like needing to see that, because Two of Swords and Five of Pentacles is feeling like, I'm feeling hopeless about this, or like I don't know what to do, but having Two of Swords here is feeling like you need to see that this situation is not a hopeless situation. And there is stuff that can be done and can be made like better, and to actually work with the two of you. Some of you can be on the opposite end of this, where you're like, this person keeps coming through and trying to show up, but it's like not resonating with me at all. And you may need to communicate with them like, hey, that's not resonating with me. Maybe that's how you want me to show up for you, yeah? But like, this is my love language, you know? And it's gonna take self-analysis and understanding and self-awareness to know like what works and what doesn't, because I'm definitely seeing effort here. So it's not like the person that's showing up to be like, hey, I'm showing up like to give you this. It's not like they're not trying. I'm seeing somebody actively trying here, which can feel even more frustrating when it's not translating, you know, like when it's not, there's not a receptivity to it. But I'm not seeing that someone's not trying, and I'm not seeing there be a lack of receptivity. It's that when the person shows up with what they have to give, you need to make sure that it's like appropriate for the occasion, and that it's actually going to be, what's the right way to say this? It's like you need to put the right key in the right slot in order for it to unlock the lock, you know? Like you have to come with the right thing that's going to be compatible with a person to feel like they're actually being given something of value, meaning you have to know what their values are, meaning that a person needs to be self-aware enough to know what their values are so they can communicate it with their partner, so then when the partner shows up, they feel like understood, seen, heard, you know, those types of things. It's like that. But there can definitely be this feeling in the beginning of like, I'm making an effort and trying to show up. And now this is just a hopeless situation because I got hurt here. And again, like my go-to is like to sort of shut down and to be like, this is just beyond me, when really I'm not seeing a situation like that. I'm not seeing things not working. And I'm seeing there be effort and receptivity. It just needs to be like the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to show up with the right thing. Or for those of you that you're on the receiving end, you need to communicate with them like, hey, I see that you're making an effort here, but what you're sort of showing up with, it doesn't resonate with my love language, and then I'm feeling like I'm still not getting what I need. And then you need to communicate with this person. So ultimately comes back to that. But you can have a tendency to have like shut down a little bit, which is normal, you know, when you feel hurt, like that did not go the way that I wanted or the way that I expected it to. It feels like this can really be a time of great change and for things to feel like more compatible with you and this person. Because the most important qualities are here. There's an intention and there's a loving energy of I want to give to this person so they know that I'm showing up. And just needing to give the right thing to this person, and the person on the receiving end needing to communicate like what they're actually looking for to receive in order to feel like, wow, I'm valued and appreciated and loved, rather than you giving somebody the wrong thing and then being like, that's so generic and it's not what I need, you know, and then that person feeling like they're not being seen. And then the person that's giving being like, nothing is ever good enough, you know, like that type of thing, if it's going into that sort of extreme space. I am definitely seeing an opportunity for healing, but only through communication. Communication is going to be really important. Otherwise, it's going to be like, how do I fix this? Like, I want things to be good between us. And I'm just feeling like sitting with a lot of pain here. But there's definitely stuff that can be done. I'm not at all seeing a hopeless situation. It just is about coming with the right thing, like coming prepared with the right thing, which means like tuning into the other person and being like, what do you specifically, like you as an individual with your own preferences and stuff, like what are they looking for from me? That type of thing. Because effort and receptivity, I feel like if you have that, like pretty much anything can be worked out. And I'm definitely seeing a vibe of that. But having like during the month of August, it's going to be these things. For some of you, this may have already happened, but it can be something that ends up being worked out in August or become more apparent in August. It will be this recognition of, oh, the way that my partner is trying to show me that they appreciate me, it's not translating well. And so this is an opportunity to be able to fix this. But seeing the scorpion getting closer to the flower, it feels like needing to only fix the things that need to be fixed rather than being like applying this to something bigger than it needs to be applied to, you know? Like somebody can look at this and if they're totally catastrophizing here, be like, we're not compatible and this relationship doesn't work at all, versus looking at this and being like, what is the problem? It's not that they're not trying to make an effort. It's not that the person on the giving end is not trying to make an effort or not showing up, because I'm seeing them showing up and I'm seeing them like really, there's a seriousness or like a real intention here with the way that they're showing up. And then the person on the receiving end, I'm seeing them be receptive, you know? It's just, again, like, the problem is what's being given. It's like the actual thing that's being given. So it's not like, it's like my partner isn't trying and like we don't care about each other anymore. It's more so like, I'm not feeling seen because that's not my love language, you know? And the person, I think it's about also recognizing too, like for those of you that you're giving to the person and they're like, this doesn't resonate with me. It's not that they're not receptive to you, it's that you need to give them the right thing in order for them to feel valued. Because if you give them something that's not aligned with their values, it's not going to do anything for them. But the intention here is to give them something that's going to make them feel valued. So to, rather than taking this personally and being like, they just hate me or whatever, it's looking at this and being like, oh, I need to give them the thing that's going to be compatible with their love language. And for the person that's on the receiving end, rather than looking at this person that's coming through trying to give you something and being like, they don't see me, they don't understand me, like they whatever, like seeing that they're trying to make an effort with you and communicate like, hey, if you show up in this way, I'll be more receptive to it, or this holds more meaning to me, and give them some type of what's it called? It's like constructive criticism, which for some of you, the person, it may be hard for them to hear it, but it's going to be something that really helps within your relationship. But I'm not seeing things need to like end within the relationship. I'm seeing it be more so of like, you guys need to communicate and work together, and to also understand that both of you guys are making an effort here. It just needs to be just some little stuff that needs to be changed. It honestly like doesn't even seem like that big of a thing that needs to be changed. It just needs to be like tuning into the other person, when it can be really hard to not take this personally. But if you're in your feelings to the point where you're like, they're rejecting me as a person rather than just what I'm trying to give them, like that's not compatible with their values, you need to put things into perspective here. Otherwise, you're going to take things personally, you're going to shut down, and then you're not going to get anywhere with this person. And then you'll be like, what's happening here? And this is totally avoidable. Like, this doesn't have to be happening. But you can feel like it's unavoidable if you're not looking at it in the right way, and if you're taking things personally here with this, and seeing that it's not like they're rejecting you and like your efforts totally. It's that you need to give them the right thing. And again, for those of you that you're on the receiving end of this, and this can switch around with you and this person, for those of you that you're on the receiving end, you need to be communicating with your partner about like what holds meaning for you and how it would resonate with you for them to be showing up, because they want to, and it's about remembering that they just need some guidance, they need some direction here, and to do that with them. I do definitely get this sense of coming back to the Scorpion with the flower of, if you, there is a lot of power that you hold in this situation, and if you are too rough with the flower, which feels like a metaphor for like the vulnerability of your relationship, if you sort of like grab onto it or like squeeze it too tightly or just like mistreat it, you have the power to completely destroy this, which then it will be what it is. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's more so just like you have the power to really like destroy your relationship here if you want to, or to be like, this is done now, and to completely end it, versus if you're just pruning the pieces that need to be pruned. It's about how you're basically like using a tool of transformation, and you can apply it to the entirety of your relationship, or just the stuff that actually is the issue to be reworked. And then it will allow you to move forward with this person, because I'm definitely seeing a relationship that can work here. I'm not seeing anything hopeless at all, but it's about recognizing this. Like, it's not the whole thing that's hopeless. It's just needing to work on this particular thing. And communication is the basis of this. And also being receptive to what your partner is communicating with you. Okay? Things can definitely work. Definitely. It's just needing to do stuff in a way that works for each of you. And to be also open to exploring things too. Like, let's try this way, or like I'm gonna throw out this suggestion, you know, like those types of things, rather than just being so like, oh, it didn't work like that, and now that means like the end of everything, you know? It's about working it. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.